Insights with Terri Coots, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Coots. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Thank you for joining me. And we are going to explore together the week of June the 21st through the 28th, 2026. Thanks for your time. That's the biggest gift anybody can give another person. Very, very grateful. All right, what's going on for this next week that's coming up? One of the energy fields, I'm going to go through some of the health vulnerabilities because one of the energy fields that came up very strong is paying attention to health. Why this week? I can't tell you exactly, other than there's been a shift. I've noticed it with the dogs. I'm noticing it with my chickens, the chicks. There seems to be pressure put on some bodies, some organisms, to, I'm going to say, to sort out. Are we feeling well? Are we not? If we're not, what are the symptoms? And rather than suppress the symptoms, what they're wanting us to do is explore the symptoms and do something about it. So, that being the case, if you had a headache, rather than, I'm not saying don't take an aspirin or ibuprofen or whatever, Tylenol, whatever it is that you use to make yourself feel better, what it's saying is what's giving you the headache. Is it a tension headache? Is it muscles that are chronically sore, that are bunching up your chi? What is it that's contributing to this? Now, if it's a one-off, that's one thing, but they're trying to show us, especially with this retrograde that we'll be going through on the 29th, they're trying to show us what our history could be, physical, mental, emotional, what our history has given us to move forward with it. Do we drop some of it? Do we keep it? Do we carry it with us? What do we do? Or do we add new experiences? So it's a complicated energy field requiring us to pay attention to it. So I'm going to go through the common parts of it. Now remember, each one of you are individual, and as an individual, you'll be affected differently. You'll have different ways of feeling. And your body, because, some people might be a Virgo, some people might be a Gemini, everybody's different, even if it's a minute apart. Twins, even though they're identical, can be different in certain aspects. So they just want us to try to identify ourselves. Now, for some reason, this may lean more on the male than the females. I don't know exactly why. They are showing some female energy, but they're showing a generous amount of male energy, so it might be more I'm going to say targeted to men than women, but women are not exempt because there is some female energy here. So, the beginning of the week, our vulnerable common point would be the kidneys, the bladder, the urethra, that whole area, because it's ruled in the moon by Libra, and Libra rules those body parts. So that can be, for just generally, an issue. So then moving towards the end of the week, there may be some difficulties with the liver, moving from the kidney to the liver. Both, it's kind of interesting because both of those organs are meant to get toxins out of our body, which lends me to think possibly we're looking at a detoxification type of need. Now, sharing my own experience, I've just been kind of not the best that I could be. I know what my good feelings are. So I just started to fast. I couldn't come up with anything else. I was trying everything, different supplements, different things. So I just started to fast. Everybody's fasting can be a little bit different, and your goal may be different as well. But my fasting includes as much water as I want to drink, 3 cups of herbal tea, depending on which organs I want to target. So if it was the liver, it would be milk thistle. If it was the kidneys, it might be dandelion root. So you just look, Google knows everything, or that chat GP, or I don't know, that new chat thing. It's amazing some of the information that's there. So just find out what your, it might be joints, coming out of the Capricorn energy that we had that was targeting the joints. You might be sore in your body, your muscles, your ligaments, your joints. So you decide what it is that your body needs, and that's the herbal tea that you would take 3 times a day. And then 3 times a day, a fresh juiced type of fruit or vegetable juice. So depending again on the target, if you're trying to clean your kidneys, it might be fresh juiced lemon, but only 4 ounces of the juice, whatever you choose, and 4 ounces of water. It has to be mixed together, because if not, you'll start some enzymes working, and then you'll kind of feel sick to your stomach. How long you go is entirely up to you. You'll know if you start tasting a sweet taste in your mouth, and you're starting to digest your own body, and that's not a good thing necessarily. Now, the premise of a fast, and I'm bringing this up for a reason because it's here. The premise of a fast is your body needs energy. It needs fuel. No matter what, you have to have fuel to run the automatic responses in your body. Blinking, swallowing, breathing, that type of thing. The things we don't think about that just have to happen. So if you're not eating, it's taking energy, but where is it getting the energy from? So what your body does, because it's so darn smart, it searches around, and traditionally it'll pick cells that are dead and dying, that are of no value, so it'll eat that first. And then if no fuel is offered to it, then it'll start looking around for maybe mismapped, abhorrent types of cells that are incoherent or wrong. So it'll eat that. That can be cancer and different types of bad cells that we do not want replicating themselves. And then if it's gone through all of that, and that could be a 10 or a 14-day fast, not everybody's up for that, then it starts to eat its own good cells. That's when you stop. And you can taste that sweetness, the ketones in your mouth, and your breath smells sweet, like diabetic with insulin. So every fast for me is different. I do it a couple times a year, and I always feel great. It is amazing to go from feeling old to feeling great. So I think fasting, just if you can get past the thought of I'm missing something, like they're eating and I'm not, and that usually takes 24 to 48 hours. And then if you're honest with yourself and you search yourself, you're not hungry. You really are not hungry. It's just that first mental approach and emotional. Then after that, I can sit in a restaurant with people and just enjoy all the smells of the food and watch them eat and enjoy that and not feel like I'm missing something. It's just as enjoyable for me at that time to smell the food, to taste the food. It restructures your biotherm in your stomach too, and it gets everything sorted out. When I start back eating, use a bland food and some probiotics like kefir, something that actually will replicate itself, not pretend, real. Get the real stuff. Activia, stuff like that. That's not real, that's pretend. Balkan original will replicate itself. Balkan yogurt, the original. The kefir at Costco, both the liquid and the one in the pail, that will replicate itself. I am sure that there are others that will replicate itself, but if you want to test, just take a little bit of milk, and you won't eat this, you're just testing. Just take a little tiny bit of milk, maybe 1/8 of a cup, put it in a little glass, and add a teaspoon of whatever it is that you've chosen, your yogurt. Put it on top of the warmest place in your house. Usually it's the fridge, believe it or not. The motor's usually right up there. And in the morning it should be thick. If it's still the same consistency, you're eating yogurt and paying for a dessert, not really a yogurt. That's how you can tell. So, and I know for sure that Balkan Original works, and I know for sure that the kefir at Costco works. It will replicate itself. Anyway, that's what we're supposed to be doing. I'm not saying you have to fast. I'm just saying maybe slow down. Don't eat so much. Push away from the table when you're satisfied but not full. Just to kind of catch up. So we are supposed to be attending to our health matters this week. It's really, really important. This is a soul thing. even more than a physical thing. It's definitely physical. There's no doubt about it when we stop eating. But it's also spiritual. So you link this with your spiritual connection to the source, the energy, the vibration, however you want to describe it. It's the source. So oftentimes we have a different perspective, and especially with this retrograde that's coming. We have Mercury going into retrograde in Cancer on the 29th of this month, and it's starting already to dig up deep issues. It's starting to dig up past events, past frustrations, past loves, past experiences, and we will feel it again. And then what are we supposed to do with it? Are we going to sort it out? Are we going to keep it? Are we going to let those instances keep making our decisions for us? That's what we're supposed to be looking at. And then on the 22nd of this month, the sun moves from Gemini, which is the thinker, the communicator, to Cancer, which is the Cancer energy, is also in the retrograde in Mercury. That's home, family, people. So relationships are going to be a huge epicenter in our lives in the next few weeks for sure. Then Venus, the planet of love, beauty, is in Leo, and that's a fire sign. So be prepared for some pretty passionate feelings, some feelings that can really take hold. It's not necessarily going to be smooth in the next little bit. And then Mars, the planet of our drive and our passion, is still in Taurus, but on the 29th it turns to Gemini. That will give us the opportunity to maybe talk things out, to discuss, to communicate, to find out what another person's feelings are, to look at bringing another person into our circle and maybe being invited into theirs. So that's something we should be allowing. There's going to be a major energy field, not just in the health part, our health, body, all of that. This major energy field is in our strength. How would you describe strength? So everybody's definition of love is different. Everybody's definition of strength is different. And that's where we're headed right now, trying to understand and identify for ourselves, what do we consider true strength? And strength can be just a quiet self-confidence. It's that inner strength. I find that very, when I say attractive, when I see people, I don't mean that in a romantic way. I mean it's attractive on a person when they're strong themselves, inside of themselves, and there's not the bragging, there just is. And so it's the power of conviction that it allows for patience and wisdom. There's an assertiveness to it that isn't overbearing or isn't dominant for another person. I'm going to use Trump again, sorry kids, because he's just the best example of everything that's wrong. His idea of strength is yelling, bullying, saying the same thing over again, lying, making the truth, you can't even see it. He thinks that's strong. To belittle the other person, that's not strong at all in any way, shape, or form. That's actually weakness and sickness. So we're going to be battling the two coins, the two sides of the coin in strength. The truly superior strength that is kind and inner and self-confident and quiet and compassionate and not afraid to be vulnerable. And then the other side of the coin is weakness and sickness and impotence and bullying and being bullied, and then wrestling with maybe some self-doubt, and that can be fearfulness. That can lead into depression. So we have to look at both sides of this coin and decide what side we want to be on, and that's where we're headed in maybe making some decisions in the next little bit. But we're at the mouth of the gate, and we have to individually decide what side of the coin you want to be on and what side of the coin are we expressing. So that's our week, kids, in a nutshell. I want to wish you all the luck in the world with that Mercury retrograde. Be so careful driving. I had to go get a prescription for my dog, and during this, coming up to the Mercury retrograde and during it, I would make sure that the pills look the same, the count is proper, the milligrams are the same. This is a time when people make mistakes. So I'm really careful who I interact with, how important they are in my life, and the decisions that they're going to make for me. And can those decisions, if there's a mistake in them, be incorrect? Oh, and be really careful texting with each other, because it can be really easy to misunderstand and get into bad feelings because of a misunderstanding of a text. It's already starting, and just be clear, that's all. And don't be afraid to put a heart emoji or something underneath it, so they know that you're coming from a place of kindness, not choosing to judge another person or bad judgment. So on that note, I want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank Charlie O'Brien for putting this on the platforms that he's allowed to, that his computer allows. And don't be afraid to tune into his radio station, the number 8 radio.com, listening to the 60s, the 70s, the 50s, all those good songs. Makes you happy, all that good time. When we remember, we only usually remember the good stuff, and the bad stuff starts to fade away. Alrighty, you guys have a great week. If you need a reading for yourself, don't be afraid to text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com, and I'm available to help you with your animals as well, if there's anything that you have that you want to discuss with me. I'm here. All right, thanks. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com, TERRI world.com.